Hi everyone, Lauren King, Executive Director of Tarrant County Homeless Coalition, coming to you today to bust some more myths. So our myth from yesterday was that we hear the same story over and over about how people come into homelessness. And while we do see the top two reasons people tell us they're homeless, so that they have a lack of income and can't afford rent, the ways that they get there and they get to us are all very, very different. So everybody has their own story. For example, for a family, we see that it's mostly economic. So for families who are barely holding on to the brink, so they're barely piecing it together to meet the needs of rent, food, childcare, transportation, you may know all the expenses that come with a family. If they're barely making that happen, if a child gets sick and someone has to miss hours at work, or if a flat tire happens, or if mom gets sick and has to stay home from work, that really knocks them off of their balance and makes them to no longer be able to meet their needs. And so once that happens, typically a spiral starts to happen. They're not able to pay rent. And then at some point, they run out of places to jump to, and they end up seeking shelter at one of our shelters. Often we hear that mental health and substance abuse is the leading cause of homelessness. That's not what people report to us. However, that is absolutely what happens for others. So for others, it may be that they have an unmanaged mental health issue. And if at some point they kind of run through all their connections, if their family member no longer knows how to help them, or perhaps if they don't have any family, if you don't have that support system to fall back on, you may very well end up with us and seeking shelter at one of our shelters. So those are just two examples, but just know that everyone who comes into homelessness, who experiences homelessness, is different, and they all have different stories, and they all got led here in different ways. So we treat people as individuals, and we address their situation depending on what they need. So just know that just like all of your neighbors that you know, just like all of your friends you know, everyone has a story that led them to where they are, and that includes people experiencing homelessness. So know that they're individuals, we treat them as individuals, and we do the best that we can to meet them where they are and to ensure that everyone has a place to call home. Join us again on Thursday as we have another partner.